You say yes when your body is screaming no. You agree when every cell in you wants to run. Someone asks for one more favor and you're already drowning, but you smile, nod, and say, "Sure," again. This isn't kindness, it's not generosity, and it's definitely not who you really are. It's your nervous system running an ancient program, one that convinced you, somewhere deep down, that your survival depends on never disappointing anyone. That no equals danger, that boundaries mean abandonment. And the worst part? You know this. You've read the articles, heard the advice. Just set boundaries. Learn to say no, as if it were that simple. As if you could just flip a switch and suddenly stop feeling like the world will collapse if you put yourself first. But here's what nobody tells you. Your brain doesn't care about your boundaries. It cares about keeping you alive. And if it learned early on that saying yes, even when you're exhausted, even when you're resentful, even when you're fading, kept you safe, loved, or accepted, then yes became your default survival mode. This is the psychology of people who can't say no, and it goes way deeper than being too nice. Let's go back, way back, to the moment your brain first learned this equation. Your worth equals your usefulness. Maybe you were a kid who learned that love wasn't unconditional, it was transactional. You got praise when you helped, affection when you didn't complain, attention when you made life easier for everyone else. And when you said no, silence, disappointment, or worse, anger that made your little nervous system panic. So you adapted. You became the good one, the helpful one, the one who never caused problems. And every time you said yes, even when it hurt, you got a hit of relief. Not happiness. Relief. Because saying yes meant you were still safe, still wanted, still enough. Fast forward to now. You're an adult. Logically, you know you don't need to earn love anymore. But your body still remembers. It remembers the tightness in your chest when someone got upset. The terror of being too much or not enough. The belief that if you stopped giving, you'd be left behind. That's why saying no feels like death. Because to your nervous system, it is. Not literal death, but social death, rejection, exile. The thing humans are wired to fear more than almost anything else. And here's the kicker. The people in your life now, most of them aren't those people from your past. They're not going to abandon you for having limits. But your brain doesn't know that. It's still operating from old data, old wounds, old fears. So every time someone asks something of you, your system runs a rapid-fire threat assessment. If I say no, will they leave? Will they think I'm selfish? Will I prove that I'm not actually good enough? And before you can even think, your mouth says yes. Because yes feels safer than the unknown. Yes feels like control. Yes feels like you're still in the game, but you're not in the game. You're disappearing. Here's what nobody warns you about. Chronic yes doesn't just drain you, it rewires you. Every time you override your exhaustion to please someone else, you're teaching your brain that your needs don't matter, that your voice doesn't count, that the only version of you worth keeping around is the one that serves. And over time, you stop hearing yourself at all. You stop knowing what you actually want, what you actually feel. Because wanting things, feeling things, those require space, and you've given all your space away. This is where it gets dark. You become a shell. You show up to everything, physically but emotionally. You checked out months ago, maybe years. You're resentful but can't say why. Exhausted but can't stop. Angry at people who never forced you to say yes in the first place. Because that's the secret nobody tells you. Most people aren't manipulating you. They're just asking. And you're the one saying yes when you mean no. You're the one abandoning yourself over and over, hoping someone will finally notice and tell you to stop. But they won't, because they don't know. They think you're fine. They think you want to help. And why wouldn't they? You've spent years performing fine so convincingly that even you started to believe it. Until your body revolts. Burnout, anxiety, illness, rage that erupts at the smallest things because you've been swallowing your no for so long, it's turned toxic inside you. And that's when you realize you weren't protecting connection by saying yes. You were destroying it. Because the person people think they know isn't you. It's a version of you that's been performing, surviving, shape-shifting to fit. The real you, the one with needs, limits, desires, has been in hiding, waiting, hoping that one day it'll be safe enough to come out. So here's the truth that might save you. Saying no isn't selfish. It's the most honest thing you can do. It's the difference between connection and performance, between love and transaction, between being present and being a ghost. So how do you start? How do you untangle years of wiring that convinced you no equals danger? You start small, painfully small. Not with the big boundary you've been avoiding, but with something so minor it almost feels pointless. I need 5 minutes. I can't today. Let me think about it. That's it. No explanation, no apology, no justification that turns your no into a negotiation. And then, this is the hard part. You sit with what comes next. The guilt, the fear. The voice that whispers, they're upset with you, or you're being selfish, or you just ruined everything. That voice? It's not truth. It's an old alarm system that hasn't been updated. It's your nervous system scanning for danger that isn't there anymore. Breathe through it. Let the discomfort exist without fixing it. Because here's what happens when you don't rush to smooth things over. You learn that you can survive your own no. That the world doesn't end. That people who truly care about you don't vanish when you have limits. And the ones who do, they were never connected to you. They were connected to what you could give them. This is where you reclaim yourself, not by becoming cold or selfish, but by recognizing that your yes only means something when your no is possible. That real relationships aren't built on endless availability. They're built on honesty, on presence, on two people showing up as they actually are, not as who they think they need to be to earn love. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion. You don't owe anyone proof that you're good enough. You were always enough, even with boundaries, even with limits, even when you rest. So the next time someone asks and your chest tightens, pause. Take one breath and ask yourself, is this a yes I want to give or a yes I'm afraid not to? If it's fear, that's your answer. Let your no be quiet, gentle, but real. Because you're not here to collapse under the weight of everyone else's needs. You're here to live fully, honestly, as yourself. And that version of you, the one who can say no, who can rest, who can take up space without apologizing, that's the version people have been waiting to meet. If this hit you somewhere deep, don't just keep scrolling. Drop a comment. Tell me what saying yes has cost you. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to stop performing and start living, hit subscribe, because we're just getting started. You're not broken. You're just finally waking up.